talking about security politics and what security does in some ways, is security always a negative thing?
I think it's a question that requires, how shall I put it? It's a difficult question, and I think I will try to avoid to see security as negative or positive, because I think it ties us into particular positions. So I start from seeing security as a practice, and once I see security as a practice, I try to understand the politics of security by attending to the modes of practices that I analyze. And for instance, what is interesting for me is to think security not on its own, and I wonder whether that's something that critical security studies has been doing to an extent. It has been focused quite a lot on security, starting with the language of security, and then it's tried to bring in, for instance, some of the debates about politics and the securitization and emancipation, questions of democracy, questions of rights, and so on, and try to actually think security relationally to an extent. But I think we do too little of that, and we also have the tendency to always start with security, which is part of the way in which the academic field of critical security studies is structured. But I think again this concerns the continuum of violence more broadly, so I wonder whether we start very often from a particular object. And I think the debates about negative, positive security just focus on security as an object rather than security as a relational practice. So for me it's really important to set security in this relation with a whole series of practices and claims. So if you actually attend to the claims that are being made in a field, then you can see how security is challenged on the basis of claims to freedom, for example, at times claims to rights, claims to citizenship, claims to mobility, claims to solidarity. So what would it mean for us as critical security scholars actually to take seriously these claims and not focus politics or collapse politics just onto security?
Right, absolutely. And I think that speaks to what you were saying earlier as well about this possibility to actually intervene not only in academic debates but into the world more widely and into practices and policies of security by exactly engaging these relational topics the way they are, either the way different modes of security are produced, are contested, or even desired, and how those things can actually be managed in a political term rather than just a security term.